Apologies for the break in transmission. It was due to circumstances beyond our control. Back to the news. The Senate has confirmed former Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, as Nigeria's new Minister of Defense. His confirmation followed a screening on Wednesday where lawmakers examined his military record and questioned him on national security challenges. During the session, Musa pledged to serve diligently and work collaboratively to strengthen Nigeria's defense system. He highlighted gaps in security operations and stressed the need for a unified national database to aid intelligence gathering. The former CDS also called for stronger roles for local and sub-national governments and urged the justice system to support efforts to curb insecurity. He maintained that ransom payments to kidnappers and terrorists must end, warning that such funds only empower criminal groups. Addressing allegations of targeted killings, Musa said all Nigerians are victims of terrorism and called for unity to end the violence.
No country can have everything. So America's budget last year was about $800 and something billion. And they produce equipment. We don't produce this equipment. For everything we are buying, we buy using hard currency. A medium-range precision missile for a drone, sir, is $100,000. That is about 150 million naira. So once you fire one, 150 million has gone. Whether you hit target or don't hit target. A ship, a medium-range ship will take up to probably 33,000 liters of fuel, 10 tankers. In 5-6 hours, fuel is finished. So you can imagine that defense is expensive. And that's why it's important for us to see that we can fund. And we can do government to government.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio praised Musa's responses during the screening. A voice vote was taken and the Senate unanimously confirmed his nomination as Defense Minister. Newly sworn-in Chairman of the National Population Commission (NPC), Dr. Aminu Yusuf, has pledged to deliver a transparent and credible national census. He spoke after taking the oath of office at the State House. Dr. Yusuf told reporters his priority is a census Nigerians can trust, assuring Nigerians of transparency and an acceptable census. He expressed confidence in his team and said the president has given the commission a clear mandate. Nigeria last held the census in 2006, with repeated attempts since then delayed by funding challenges, insecurity, COVID-19, and political transitions. Even with new technology introduced, the 2023 exercise was postponed, and the Tinubu administration is still working out the timing and methodology for the next headcount. The NPC says it is committed to resolving these issues as it prepares for Nigeria's first census in nearly 20 years. The All Progressives Congress has announced dates for its National Caucus and National Executive Committee meetings. Both sessions will hold next week at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. In a notice signed by NPC National Secretary Senator Ajibola Bashiru, the party confirmed that the National Caucus will meet on Monday, December 15th at 6 p.m. In the gathering, one of the party's top organs will bring together senior stakeholders, including the National Chairman, National Working Committee members, State Chairmen, governors, former and serving presidents and vice presidents who are party members, as well as national and state assembly leaders. The party says the meeting has been convened in line with Article 11 of its constitution. The National Executive Committee meeting will follow on Tuesday, December 16th at 12 noon, also at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa. The NEC, established under Article 13, includes party officers, zonal representatives, state chairmen, and members elected as at the National Convention. Both organs have been formally notified and directed to take note of the scheduled sessions. The meetings are expected to address key party issues as the APC continues internal preparations ahead of the coming political cycle. In Ekiti State, the African Democratic Congress governorship candidate Dare Bechide says he is confident the party will win the June 20th, 2026 elections. Addressing party members at the ADC State Secretariat in Ado-Ekiti, Bechide said the party's growing popularity, internal unity, and rising public dissatisfaction with current administration gives the ADC a strong advantage ahead of the poll. Bechide, a former Nigerian High Commissioner to Canada, had earlier received his certificate of return at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja. He commended the four aspirants who ran against him in the primaries, saying their support will help strengthen the party. He declared that the ADC is poised to form the next government, adding that by this time next year, the party would be in the Ayoba government house. Bechide urged members to stay united, promising a rigorous campaign to unseat the ruling party. The ADC primary was described as peaceful by the committee chair, Senator Patricia Akwashiki, who praised the large turnout across the state's 16 local government areas. She encouraged any aggrieved aspirants to channel complaints to the party's appeal committee. With confidence high among party leaders, the ADC says it is ready for the battle ahead in Ekiti 2026. The National Universities Commission has received £3 million to begin new ICT projects in selected universities. NUC Executive Secretary Abdullahi Ribadu says the funds are the first tranche of a $40 million loan from the French Development Agency to support digital transformation in 10 universities. Speaking at the inauguration of the 13th NUC board in Abuja, Ribadu said the Commission has strengthened financial management, expanded access to university education, and advanced new programs and accreditation efforts. Board Chairman Professor Oluremi Aina thanked President Bola Tinubu for supporting the sector and outlined priorities including digital literacy, research, and improved university rankings. The NUC says the loan will help modernize ICT infrastructure across the country's university system. The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria is urging tax professionals to step up as the country prepares to implement major tax reforms. CITN President Innocent Ohagwa spoke at the Institute's 53rd induction ceremony in Lagos, saying the new tax reform laws signed by President Bola Tinubu will require higher standards, stronger competence, and strict ethical conduct from practitioners. He noted that the reforms, which will take effect next year, aim to simplify the tax system, expand the tax base, and strengthen compliance. Ohagwa added that the Institute has raised its professional and ethical standards and expects members to meet them. Special guest Dr. Oladeji Akinyele told inductees that success in modern tax practice depends on four competencies: intelligence, emotional balance, social skills, and resilience. Earlier, Chairman of the Membership and Professional Conduct Committee, Dr. Yemi Sani, reminded new members that Nigeria's tax reforms can only succeed with the active involvement of trained and ethical tax professionals. The CITN says tax practitioners will play a critical role in implementing the new laws and supporting the country's economic direction. And now to the foreign scene, the United States has announced new measures to tackle rising attacks on Christians in Nigeria and other countries. The U.S. State Department says the policy targets radical Islamic terrorists, Fulani militias, and other groups linked to violence against religious communities. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Washington is taking decisive action in response to mass killings of Christians. Under the new rule, the U.S. can impose visa bans on anyone involved in religious freedom violations, including those who would direct, support, or participate in such attacks. The restrictions may also extend to family members. The announcement followed a briefing by U.S. House Republicans on growing religious violence in Nigeria. President Donald Trump had ordered lawmakers to investigate what he called the slaughter of Christians. The move comes as the U.S. increases scrutiny on Nigeria's handling of religious persecution, including the recent hearing reviewing Nigeria's redesignation as a country of particular concern. Washington says Washington says it will continue to hold individuals and governments accountable for violations of religious freedom. The European Union has taken a major step towards cutting its dependence on Russian energy. In a late-night breakthrough, EU lawmakers and member states reached a deal to ban all imports of Russian gas by the autumn of 2027. A statement from the European Council on Wednesday confirmed that negotiators agreed on a new regulation that phases out Russian natural gas across the bloc. Officials say the move is designed to end Europe's reliance on Russian energy, following what they describe as Moscow's weaponization of gas supplies actions that have deeply disrupted the European energy market. Under the agreement, long-term pipeline gas contracts with Russia must end by November 1st, 2027, while contracts for liquefied natural gas (LNG) will be banned even earlier by January 1st, 2027.
Today is indeed a historic day for our union. Last night, we reached a provisional agreement on the Commission's proposal to fully phase out Russian fossil fuels. We're turning that page, and we're turning it for good. This is the dawn of a new era, the era of Europe's full energy independence from Russia.
The deal now heads towards formal approval, marking a significant shift in Europe's energy strategy. And now on sports news, FIFA has given football clubs an extra week before releasing their African stars for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Under the new adjustment, top players like Mohamed Salah, Brian Mbeumo, and Achraf Hakimi will now join their national teams on December 15th instead of the earlier deadline of December 8th. European clubs had been worried about losing key squad members for up to 8 matches during a congested fixture period. FIFA says the change follows fruitful consultations with CAF to reduce the impact on clubs and competitions. Premier League sides such as Liverpool, Manchester United, and Manchester City will still lose important players for the tournament, running from December 21st to January 18th, but for a shorter period than feared. Sunderland and Wolves are among the hardest hit, while Arsenal, Chelsea, and Leeds will be unaffected. PSG will be without Hakimi, but giants like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus will not lose any players. The tournament features top contenders including Morocco, Egypt, Algeria, and Senegal. FIFA is urging national teams and clubs to work together to manage player availability during the competition. Leeds United stunned Chelsea 3-1 at Elland Road on Wednesday night, ending a run of 4 straight defeats. Leeds dominated a sluggish Chelsea side, scoring twice in the first half through Xhaka Bijol and Al Tanaka. Substitute Pedro Neto pulled back early in the second half, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin sealed the win with a 72nd minute rebound after more poor defending from the visitors. Chelsea were without Moses Caicedo, who served a suspension, while Cole Palmer started on the bench despite returning from injury. The victory lifts Leeds out of the relegation zone and gives manager Daniel Fleck his first ever win over Chelsea. The Blues remain in the top 4 but are now winless in their last 2 matches. Leeds' win delivers a major boost to their survival hopes, while the title race remains firmly in Arsenal's control. In other Premier League games, Arsenal restored their 5-point lead at the top with a 2-0 win over Brentford, thanks to goals from Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka. At Anfield, Liverpool were held to a 1-1 draw by Sunderland, with Florian Wirtz scoring his first goal for the Reds. And with that sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup for today on Atlantic TV. Do also follow us on all our social media platforms for more news stories and headline updates. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Techere. Have a pleasant day.